Good morning, guys. Previous class we discussed about CSS shadows. So in this session, I would like to explain CSS gradient also. So in this session, I would like to explain CSS 3D transform and 2D transforms. We have 2D transforms and CSS 3D transforms. See in this transforms. So transforms is used to move the position of an element, like whether in the center positions, right positions. So using this transforms. So 2D transform features allows you that elements can be transferred to the 2D place. The 2D transform features you can perform basic transform manipulations like you can move, rotate, scale, and skew. And using this one, so we can move the element, we can rotate the element, we can increase, we can zoom the element, and we can turn the elements like we can skew the elements like this parallelogram type. So in this 2D transforms, so we have a property like first we have translate property. We have translate, and we can call it as a translate function. See, using this translate function, we can move the element from the position to the current position to the different positions. So along with x and y axis. So we can write the syntax for this translate is translate tx comma ty. So this is the syntax for writing translate property. And in this translate property, we can move the element from one position to another position. See, I'll explain this property and I'll show the example at the same time. Let me open this Visual Studio here. So I can save the file with transforms, that is 2D transforms. .html. See, using this translate property, we can make exact center. Like we can use the positions like position, position relative, or if you use a position absolute, whatever you want. And you can write top 50, left 50, and transform, translate minus 50, or else minus 50, minus 50. You can give percentages there. So this means we can make the exact center. Making center. Who is this one? Translate minus transform translate minus 50 minus 50 and along with top and left position. So let me open this Visual Studio. So here I created this new program. So we can write it here transforms. So transforms. So in this transforms, we just explain. So I'll take the box there. I'll take the box. Inside of box, I'll take the image. Right now, I'll just provide nothing images in the image tag. So I'll take box there. So I'll take this internal style sheet. Style. So in the style sheet, I'll take the box I'll take the box there. For the box, we can write a width. So width I'll just provide like 200 pixels, height 200 pixels, or else we'll go with this 150, and margin 50 pixels, and I'll just write background. So background image. So here I'll take this image there. Let me open the source file once. So we have images. See, here I take this image. Like I take this photo. So let me open this here. I'll just write photo.png. Now here we need to write no repeat. No repeat means in order to don't repeat the image. For this repeat, so you can write the shortcut here. Instead of taking image, just write background here. So this is a shorthand property. Like you can write background as well as background repeat equal to no repeat. And let me run this one on the browser. Right click, open in default browser. If you open here, see replace this tortoise there. So let me increase this width there. Width I'll just provide 300. Or let me go to this browser once. Just reload this page. Yeah, I'll replace this tortoise. Now here, go to this Visual Studio. I just increase this height also. Increase the height. Let me run this one on the browser. Yeah, I'll place this tortoise there. So for this tortoise, I'll apply this opacity. I'll just take opacity. I'll provide 0.2. Go to this browser. Just reload this page. Yeah, I'll place this tortoise right. Now go to this here. So go to this box. Inside our box, we take this images there. So in this image, I'll provide this source file. Like I'll take this toto.png, and this is a tortoise. And here I'll provide the class name. I'll take a class transform. And don't give the capital letters, give small letters here. Transform. For the class, you know how to denote it with class. Class is denoted with dot symbol. So write the transforms. Write the transforms. And here we can write. First, I'll just explain. We'll place this image right. Let me go to this source file. So let me go to this browser. Just reload this page. I will write this opacity right. I just remove this one. Now replace the image there, and below that we have another image. So I'll write here. I just write transform right. Here I'll just write translate sorry, transform translate 300 pixels, comma 60 pixels. See here, I'll provide x-axis and y-axis. So if you didn't find y-axis, it will take only x-axis, and remaining y-axis it will take as a 0. Let me run this one on the browser. Go to this browser, just reload this page. Now look at this one. So it will move the current position to here. So I will show the example. I'll do one thing for this background. This is original image, and if you write this opacity for this one, again it will apply for this images also. So I'll just do Okay, no problem. So this is a original image. Like if you take the box, here is a original image, and it will move to this position. That is a translate. So we can, using this translate, we can move the elements. We can move the elements here like this. So we can move the elements from one place to another place using this transform and using this translate function. In the translate, we can write x-axis and y-axis. Let me go to this notepad. So that is about this translate. So in this translate functions, you can also give this negative values. It will work negatively, like it will starts from position, original position to, it will away from the original position. And coming to this here, we have a rotate function. We have a rotate function. So for this rotate function, in this rotate function, we can rotate the elements around the origin. Around the origin means from original position to, we can rotate different here. See, we can specify that transform origin here for this rotate position. I just write, you can also write rotate. So we can write degrees there, 35 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, like this. So let me go to this Visual Studio. See here, I'll take one more div. So this is rotate function. For this rotate function, I take div, I take box one. For the box one, we just apply. I take box one, or just apply this margin 20 pixels, padding 20 pixels, and I just apply width. Width I need 300 pixels, height 200 pixels, background color. Just apply the background color. Background. So here you can write anything you want. Just I can write white color. Let me run this one on the browser. Go to this browser. Just reload this page. This is a rotate property, and above one is a translate. Translate function. And look at this output we have. So look at this one. So we created this one. We created this rectangle box. See here, I just adjust this width and height there. So I need this also 200. Let me run this one on the browser. Go to this browser, just reload this page. Now we place this circle there. Sorry, we place the square box and go to this Visual Studio. So here I can write this rotate property. Transform, rotate, transform, rotate function that I just write 60 degrees. I just write 60 degrees. Let me go to this browser once. Just reload this page. Look at this. Look at. So it will be rotated here. And I'll apply this margins there. Margin I'll provide something like 50 pixels or 40 pixels. And go to this browser once. Just reload this page. Look at this. See, look at the output we have. So we can rotate the elements using this rotate functions. Next, we have the scale property. We have not only 60 degrees, we can also you can write any of this one. You can, if you want, you can write any degrees like up to the 360, and also we can provide the negative values. Negative means minus 360 or minus 30. minus 40, like this. And I'll take one more example like the scale property. See here, I'll take h1 scale, scale property. For this scale, we have, again, I take this div here. So for this div, I'll just take example. I'll take the class name, class box hyphen 2. And for this box 2, I'll take the box 2. I'll just write there. I'll take the margins, margin for 60 pixels, and padding, padding 30 pixels. So again, the font size, not font size, I'll provide, okay, no problem. So I'll take the background there, background, the background color, I'll take the gold there. And we need to provide this width and height, right, for this div. So I'll provide this width there. Width I need 300 pixels, and height I need 100 pixels. So let me run this one on the browser. So go to this browser once, go to this browser, just reload this page. Now coming to here, so we place the scale there, and we place the div, and we can apply the background color, and we provide this height and width for this div. See here, I'll provide text inside of this box too. So just we can write hello, welcome to my page. So I'll just write hello, welcome to my page. Let me go to this browser once, reload this page. Reload the page here. Now I'll place the text here. Now for this text, look at this, what will happen. See here, I'll take the scale functions, right? See here, we can write transform scale, scale 1.5, comma 1.4. So it says that scale having that, the scale is a function which will increase or decrease the size of an element, which will increase or decrease the size of an element. And it can be written as, it can be written as, see, it can be written as a syntax like for the scale function, it can be written as scale, scale sx, comma sy. So if you didn't mention, so if you didn't mention y, so it assumed as it will take only the x-axis, and it will assume y as a 0. So scale we having x-axis and y-axis. If you didn't mention the y-axis, so it will take, it assume that it is a 0, and it will take only the x-axis. See here, go to this Visual Studio. In this transform scale, I'll provide this x-axis along with y-axis. Go to this browser once, just reload this page. Look at this one here. So it is increasing the element. So to increase the element, we use the scale here, and to decrease the element, we can use the scale here. Suppose here I'll provide 0 0.2 and 0.4. Now let me run this one on the browser. So go to this browser, look at this one. So I'll just refresh here. I'll just refresh here. Now look at this one. See, look at the element we have. So it will decrease the size. If you want to increase the size, again you can provide these values there, like this. So that is the use of this scale function. So in this scale, if you want, so we have a values like if you want scale x, scale x, scale y, scale x, and scale y. So scale x means in order to increase in the x-axis, we can use the scale. And the scale y is in order to increase the y-axis. That means in the y-axis and x-axis. That also we can write here, scale x and scale y. Instead of taking these two values, right? So we just mention here scale x, and I'll just remove this one. Only we can give only one value for the scale x. Let me go to this browser once. Just reload this page. Now look at this. In the x-axis only, it will be increased. Like this, we can use this scale property. And we have next skew property. We have skew. We have skew property. This skew function, skew is an element along with the x-axis and y-axis, and it will specify angle to rotate or to skew between this x and y-axis. So I'll show the example how to skew the elements. In the skew, we can provide only the angles only. See here, skew, we can write 3 or 40 or 5 like this, and we can write the syntax like u x-axis comma y-axis. So we can rotate this elements. We can rotate the element. Element is nothing but a div element, not only div, any box elements like paragraph, heading, h1. So all this are the list items are these elements. So we can rotate these elements using like skew 45 comma 15. Not only these values, so we can also provide anything you want, and also you can provide the negative values. So syntax for writing skew is skew x and skew y. So in order to rotate the elements like skew manner, I'll show the example there you get clear understanding about this one. Let me go to this here. So I'll take box 3. For the box 3, I'll just write I'll just CSS I'll apply the CSS for this box 3. For the box 3, take the box 3 there. Just you can write width. Width I need 250 pixels. Height I need 150 pixels. Height I need 150. And background color. Background. So here I'll just write cyan. I'll take the cyan color. Now we just run this one on the browser. So before running this one, I'll provide this heading there. This is a skew function. Now go to this browser once. Just reload this page. Just reload this page. Now we place the skew there. So for the skew elements, we can apply the transforms. Place the div, we can apply the transform there. I'll just apply margin 40 pixels, and I'll just increase the width there. I'll just increase the width to 350. And go to this one, reload this page. Now coming to here, so you place the div. Now we need to apply the skew here. Now take this box 3. Just you can type skew. Before typing this one, take the transform skew. Here I'll just provide 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 40 and 50 degrees. Let me go to this browser once. Look at this one. I'll just refresh here. What will happen? Just reload this page. Look at the skew we have. We can skew this element like this. And if you don't want this much of degrees, so just apply this 10 degrees, 10 degrees. Now reload this page. Look at this. skew effect. So we can skew the elements like this. And in the skew functions, so we have these two available options like skew, skew x and skew y. Skew y. Now go to this Visual Studio. See here, I'll take only this one axis, UI, just right. So if you want, you can also apply these negative values. Like if you want, you can apply this 50. Sorry, we can apply this 30 degrees. Let me go to this browser once, reload this page. Look at this. Look at this view we have. See, like this, we can use the skew property in the CSS. Go to this notepad. See here, we have this rotate property, scale to increase the size of an element or to decrease the size of an element, and rotate property in order to rotate the element. And we have this skew. Skew also same. So how much angles you need to rotate your element, that we can use this skew. This skew we have x-axis and y-axis, along with that qx and qy axis.